this wasn't used appropriately. Money that can't actually be tracked. We don't know where it is.
That's literally not what it, so he's assuming the report was literally on fraud. It was a report on fraud. It says it in the thing that he even put on the screen. Instances of fraud. That's not lost money or unaccounted for money. What does he think fraud means?
Destiny is once again losing his mind, this time over something that Steven Crowder said. After Steven Crowder exposed the truth about the woke left, about people like Destiny absolutely lost his mind once again, as he's been doing a lot recently, especially ever since Donald Trump won the 2024 presidential election. People like Destiny have either gone in one of two ways. They've either gone the Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur route, where they're starting to wake up to the truth, starting to wake up that their side is now the losing side and trying to come over to the other side, or they're going the David Pakman Destiny route, where they just get more and more unhinged to mask the fact that their side is losing and trying to play into the echo chamber that they have created with their audience. Let's get into this clip here where Destiny absolutely loses his mind over Steven Crowder exposing the truth.
What is the point that he's trying to make here? That because fraud happens, the government needs less money? Or what even is the, hold on.
Well-being of our troops, for the preservation of our national security, for the tens of millions of Americans who look to the federal government for a wide range of basic services, Democrats and Republicans must work together to fully fund the federal government.
For our country, Madam Speaker, and our communities in the long term, Congress must enact an omnibus funding package.
Oh, okay. Well, we need that money. That's all.
Gotta have it. Oh, yeah.
Well, do you believe in roads for the children? Then you believe in socialism.
Yeah.
Here's the truth. Okay. Not only do they not need all those dollars, but the new Government Accountability Office report. Okay. This is not in doubt. The only portion that's in debate is how bad it is in any given year. But the bare minimum in any given year, the amount of fraud, meaning money that we have no idea where it is, how it's been used, or where to track it. $233 billion to $500 billion a year, just from 2018 to 2023 alone.
Okay, so two things. So one, he says this isn't a guess, this is confirmed. So it's not confirmed, right? These are estimates based on studies, right? That's why it says the most conservative estimate is $233 billion. The confirmed amounts were like $7 to $10 billion. Also, this isn't money that's like lost or whatever. This is, it sounds like this is people who are defrauding the government or participating in some sort of fraud in contract or something else against the federal government.
$1 billion a year, just from 2018 to 2023 alone.
That's just federally too, isn't it?
Yep. Let's round it. $400 billion a year. This is like ghost money. I'm not saying people go, oh, it looks like maybe actually this wasn't used appropriately. Money that can't actually be tracked. We don't know where it is.
That's literally not what it, so he's assuming the report was literally on fraud. It was a report on fraud. It says it in the thing that he even put on the screen. Instances of fraud. That's not lost money or unaccounted for money. What does he think fraud means? The most conservative estimate, and these are estimates, in fraudulent payments per year means fraudsters. Fraud. Is he mixing up talking points or?
Let's round it. $400 billion. Money that can't actually be tracked. We don't know where it is. So let's call that $400 billion. Hey, you don't think that just starting with that, we could trim $1.5 trillion easily from the budget? That would be a gimme. Just bring forward.
That wouldn't do anything. That would literally do nothing. Why would you assume that if you trim the government budget that less fraud will happen? It doesn't even make any sense. He doesn't even know what he's reading.
The shrimp on a treadmill and that kind of shit. All of that. Bring it forward. $500 billion? We don't know where it is?
That's insane.
Do you have any idea how what you are paying in taxes? Picture all of your taxes. Just disappeared. You think, I pay my taxes. Great. It's gone. Now it's gone. $500 billion a year. And they want us to believe that we absolutely cannot do.
What was the 7 billion figure? The confirmed fraud, this is an estimate, I think, based on, they used 42 different studies to try to figure out how much fraud they think might exist. The actual confirmed fraud that the government has found, that like they know 100%, like this is fraud, we found it, and I'm guessing like prosecuted it or whatever, is given right here. Confirmed fraud, as reported by the OMB, for fiscal years 2018 to 2022. And these are in billions of dollars. So 5.2 billion, 7.3 billion, 7.3 billion, 4.5 billion, 4.4 billion. This is confirmed fraud. But they're saying that, that they're using studies to try to guess that there might be more fraud out there that we just haven't been able to basically capture or find. Yeah.
Which I want you to, you know, you can always tell when somebody's on the wrong side of something. You can always tell when somebody knows that they're wrong and they're a bit insecure about it, whenever they start getting really heated, like Destiny is right now, about semantics. Because Steven Crowder didn't use the exact word of fraud, even though Steven Crowder is literally putting on the screen and highlighting the exact thing that Destiny is talking about, he's losing his mind because he didn't say the actual word fraud. That's how you know somebody's on the losing side, whenever they get that mad and they're trying to bring that much attention to semantics. Because if they actually discussed what Steven Crowder is discussing, Destiny would be on the losing side, 100%. But instead of doing that, he says, let me just hone in on this one word of fraud. And that way we get super heated about that. We take the actual subject, take the actual discussion off of the subject that Steven Crowder is trying to discuss. And we go ahead and just talk about this one word, fraud, instead. That's how you know somebody's losing. And it's very obvious. Everybody can see it, right?
As a first of its kind government-wide estimate of federal dollars lost to fraud, there are known uncertainties associated with the model and underlying data important to interpreting the results. These include caveats related to applying the estimate to agencies or programs. The GAO's model was developed to estimate government-wide federal fraud. The fraud estimates range represents 3 to 7% of average federal obligations. These percentages should not be applied to the agency at the agency or program level. While every federal program in operation is at risk of fraud, the level of risk can vary substantially. Controls, growth, or shrinkage of budget, and the emergence of new fraud schemes are some reasons the risk level can vary.
Without 100% of this budget. It's not a conspiracy. This is unilaterally agreed upon and proven. And to me, that's probably the worst one, just because...
Unilaterally agreed upon and proven. What does that even mean? You're not even... First of all, to say unilaterally agreed upon doesn't make sense. But also, what do we even... He doesn't even know what he's saying. He doesn't even know what the report that he's quoting means.
That's the basis of our government. When we sit down and have a vote, it's how much more are we going to spend? Very rarely cut.
Yeah. It's not even including waste, like projects that we shouldn't be
If you enjoy content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
spending money on.
Right, just strictly fraud.
Yeah, it's somebody defrauding us. That's us going, oops, lost the money. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Like, that is absolutely insane. So I'm really glad for Doge, Elon Musk, and Vivek. They're probably going to find, what did he say? He wanted to cut a couple $1 trillion from the budget?
Yeah.
I think with $500 billion as a starting point.
People like Colbert.
Cut a couple $1 trillion from the budget? Our budget is like a couple $1 trillion. What are you talking about? What?
There goes this clown.
Yeah.
We need some adults. I thought we needed some adults when we... Oh, wait, we lost $500 billion this year. It's gone. Where are the adults? You're the adult.
They bought islands.
How do you fix it? The gaslighting that takes place.
Yeah.
They want you to believe, oh, this is absurd. Here's the number one for me. And it's hard for me. There really isn't a claim because this was just buried. Right, and this is a fact that has actually been apologized for on behalf of our government. But when I heard this, I was kind of embarrassed that I didn't know about this. And I'd love for you to comment when you see this. If you did, you probably do if you watch this program. But I didn't for a long time until the mid 2000s. Let's just go with the truth, I guess, at this point. The United States government, conducted experiments on Guatemalans by knowingly allowing 5,000 Guatemalans to contract STDs and withholding treatment. They did this in 1946.
What? How far back are we going? Oh, is this to just undermine vaccine shit, I guess?
Part of the way they spread this was by putting prostitutes into the prison system in Guatemala. Put prostitutes in there, ensured that STDs would spread across Guatemala, and withheld treatment just to see what would happen.
A White House bioethics commission has revealed...
It's so funny how he's like, oh, how far back are we? He's just instantly trying to discredit every single thing that Steven Crowder says, even though he's bringing up good points. This whole thing that Steven Crowder is talking about is just corruption in government and how the money is spent, our tax dollars are spent in ways that don't make sense. The money just disappears. The money is not accounted for. Destiny gets mad at him for trying to make sure that our tax dollars are spent in a proper way that actually benefits the American people and says, oh, no, you can't say that. You didn't say the word fraud. That's what we're going to focus on instead of actually focusing on the actual, the fraud and the just theft that is being committed on the American people, taking money out of Americans' pockets and putting it at where? Where is it going? Well, how does the Pentagon lose so much money in accounting errors, quote unquote accounting errors, all the time? How does that happen? People like Destiny are staunchly defending these people as if he's part of their PR team or something. And whenever Steven Crowder brings up something that you would think the left wing, people like Destiny, would be like, wow, that's actually really bad. We shouldn't do that. They're supposed to be the side of compassion, right? And equality and all this stuff. Whenever Steven Crowder brings up that the government did weird, very, very horrible experiments on Guatemalans, he's like, oh, he's just trying to discredit vaccine stuff, right? It doesn't even care, bro. These people who claim that they're on the side of compassion and equality and all this stuff, the side of love, dude, they don't care about anything. They don't care about any of that stuff. They don't have any morals or any ethics or anything. They care about winning. They care about winning arguments, and that's it. That's all they care about. So when Steven Crowder is bringing up a point that you would think the left wing would be the ones to bring up, like I said, Destiny and these people in the woke left, they're acting as if they're the deep state's PR team now. And he's like, oh, he's just bringing that up to discredit vaccines and the health industry. Maybe he is, but either way, you probably should still care, because it's kind of disgusting and just outrageous experiments that Steven Crowder is talking about. And he's just using that as one example.
Gruesome new details about American-run venereal disease experiments on unsuspecting Guatemalans from 1946 to 48. The testing focused on sexually transmitted diseases and involved U.S. medical officials intentionally infecting Guatemalan sex workers, prisoner soldiers, mental patients without their permission in order to study the effects of penicillin. The New York Times reports, quote, when some of the men failed to become infected through sex, the bacteria were poured into scrapes made on the penises or faces or even injected by spinal puncture.
Jeez. And you can go and look at the Barack Obama apologized for this in 2010. I believe that Hillary Clinton apologized for it even earlier than that. This happened. Does that make you question your government a little bit, their humanity? They gave Guatemalans STDs and then encouraged them to have lots of sex. Luckily, it was all documented on camera.
Yep. Come on.
Oh, man.
Guys.
Gerald.
And you're thinking, well, Guatemala, who cares? I don't know if you know this. The United States, they did this to Americans, too. An STD experiment in Tuskegee, Alabama. So in 1932, your government deliberately lied to 600, at least, black men about treating them for syphilis just to study the effects of untreated syphilis. So they withheld medication from over 600 black men just to see what syphilis does to the human body. And in case you don't believe me, believe Bill Clinton in 1997, who apologized for this experiment on our own people.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Sorry, right clip, here's him apologizing.
On behalf of the American people, what the United States government did was shameful, and I am sorry.
Well, I guess that covers it.
I think it's okay that we did let those guys fly.
Yes.
So we made it up.
Yes,
Sorry about all the, what do we give them? Sexual disease? Yeah, that's our bad.
Yes,
syphilis? Yeah, sorry about the syphilis and everything.
It's not that this was never a conspiracy, but it is to me because the media never covered it. Prison system in Guatemala put prostitutes in there, ensured that STDs would spread across Guatemala, and withheld treatment just to see what would happen.
A White House bioethics commission has revealed gruesome new details about American-run...
We just watched this. I don't know why he's playing it again. But you could see the look on Destiny's face. And he's so mad that Steven Crowder is bringing up things that, like I said earlier, you would think Destiny's side would be the side to bring up. It used to be that the left wing, that the Democrats were the ones who were like rebellious and trying to take down big government. Now, Destiny, the people who actually represent the woke left, the left wing, the Democrats now, Destiny, David Pakman, these people, like I said, they're acting as if they're the deep state's PR team. And when people like Steven Crowder and the right wing are trying to say, guys, this government is corrupt, and he's bringing up multiple examples. There's a ton more examples, dude. I mean, you can go down the list infinitely with, MK Ultra and, certain... I don't even want to say all the buzzwords for obvious reasons. There's so many things the government has lied to us about, and so many atrocities that the government has committed. And Destiny and these people, they just act like they're their PR team now, and they're supposed to be the side that's rebellious and trying to, get rid of the deep state, get rid of big government. And it's just the opposite now, because like I said, they have no morals, no ethics, nothing. They care about winning an argument, and that's it. They care about being on the winning side, and that's all. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about Destiny losing his mind over Steven Crowder exposing the truth about the American government. It's wild to me that these people are now defending the fraud and the theft of tax dollars from American people and spending it in just ways that don't benefit anyone except for their own pockets. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Steven Crowder versus Destiny situation.